One step up is giving the actor a list of emotional marks he has to hit, which we're going to call scheduling, and some people call it an emotional map.
So I think when you first come in the room, you're really angry and you're just furious about it. And when you pull that badge out, you feel a little bit of regret because you're setting something aside. Then when you have that conversation, that regret's really eating you up, and you're starting to apologize for what you're doing. But then you have that remembering of the real reason you came in here at first, and you're getting pulled out the door, and then she pulls you back as you get there, but your resolve and your anger just drives you out that door.
So besides being way too much direction, this is impossible to do because emotions don't happen just because we dictate it. If we really want the feeling to change, we have to create the conditions that would make the feeling change.
You remember how angry you are, you get that resolve back in your heart, you go to the door, there's that one last moment where she gets to pull back on you a little bit, and we see like a little bit of sorrow come into your face, but then you just harden that resolve and walk out the door.
A lot of directors pepper their directing with "do this on that line" and very specific timing cues. But actors can only take a very small amount of scheduling before it steals their whole concentration. It's important to realize that the scene is not a timeline. Like the computer simulation, it's very difficult to get things to happen in specific places. A byproduct of thinking like a timeline is also that you end up with unnatural emotional changes that come out of nowhere. If you ever feel in your stomach that the scene isn't working, 9 times out of 10, you're forcing an emotion that doesn't want to happen or doesn't want to happen yet. The scene starts working when you can allow emotions to evolve naturally.
It will kill me if I divorce her. But that doesn't matter now, because it's just you and me. What? Baby, come on.
I feel so stupid.
On a later volume, we'll come back to how to schedule without ruining it for the actors. But the quick summary is that you have to make it mean something. You have to create an actual psychologically valid reason for doing it. There's a beat and then in a way, so it implies a thought process that you're basically figuring out how to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
So it's not, I want you to take a beat just because. It's, I want you to find a way to not say it directly to her. And the actor knew exactly what to do with that. Another reason that scheduling is bad is that it creates anticipation. If an actor knows that he has to hit angry on a certain line, then he starts building towards it and becomes angry too soon.
It's such a stupid name.
Don't you understand that we can't just make up our own rules here? This matters way up the chain of command.
Dude, what the hell happened to you?
But again, real feelings tend to come out later or not at all. We're almost never eager to show them up front. Anticipation is a universal problem in acting because, let's face it, we've all read the script and we know what's coming. And pretty soon we're rushing lines and hitting cues instead of responding to the scene.
Listen, I was wondering, if you're not doing anything later, do you want to go somewhere?
I don't know, I kind of have to be someplace, or else something bad might happen.
Something bad? Are you, I don't know, fighting crime by night?
In a way.
It's very important to prevent the scene from ever finding a predictable rhythm because then it dies. And one technique is to change the off-camera character's dialogue to keep it spontaneous.
Oh, hi. You look good.
Didn't I tell you to stop approaching me?
Listen, I was wondering if it's not too forward. If you're free tonight, if you want to go somewhere?
I'm going to call security, and they're going to do something bad to you.
Something bad? Are you fighting crime by night?
That's it. You're fired.
Another kind of result directing that's a little bit the same as telling people what feeling to have is telling people what attitude to have.
When you walk in the door, you're just total smartass, okay? Yeah? But then when she changes, you have to be condescending at everything she says.
The problem with attitudes is that they're static. A character that's alive will be affected and change as the situation needs. But when you're playing an attitude, you're the same no matter what happens. It's like a thing that's glued on. Many actors fall into the trap of playing a fixed attitude, especially a general standoffishness that substitutes for drama, which you see a lot on TV. Any directing that's asking for it to be arrogant or determined or starry-eyed or suspicious, or basically anything that asks the actor to be something, is asking them to hold a fixed attitude. That works best when a fixed attitude is actually an aspect of the character. Like Charlie's character, who's arrogant to avoid having to care about other people.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
The problem with attitudes is also that they're just descriptions. They're what someone might say from the outside looking in. But they fail to capture where that behavior might actually come from. If someone is a smartass, they're not actually going around thinking, I have to be a smartass, I have to be a smartass. They'd be trying to impress other people and rub it in their faces, thinking that everybody loves them. We might describe that as smartass, but that's not where the behavior comes from. You can't play a description because it's not alive, it's just a static idea. So when we ask for smartass or cool or compassionate or evil, all the actor can give us is a mask that's frozen in time. Especially judgments of the character are very unproductive.
Your character is such a jerk, like a princess who has to have everything her way. You're just like totally mean.
The problem, obviously, is that being mean or being a princess is not a behavior, it's a description. It also forces the actor to see the character from the outside instead of from the inside. And nobody sees themselves from the outside. Even bad characters think that they're the hero. Bad characters are not trying to be bad. That's not on their mind. They're trying to feel good, and they're setting aside the fact that they are bad. If you're going to play Hitler and somebody tells you that your character is just pure evil, that does nothing to help you find that character's behavior. You need to work out the limited logic and the rationalizations and lack of compassion that allowed him to do the things he did. You have to figure out exactly how that translates into moment-to-moment behavior. And you have to find that behavior in yourself. We can't just see the character from the outside as some evil stereotype, not because he's not evil, we all agree that he is, but because we can't play him if we don't want to know how his brain works. Judging a character is also asking the actor to distance himself from the character. But what he needs is for a moment to get behind the character's worldview and fight for him to win. It's the only way we can make an honest portrayal, and it's our job to do this. So coming down to earth a little bit, another kind of result directing that I'm sure you've heard about is giving line readings.
Okay, I think instead of how could you do it, let's go with how could you do it, right?
How could you do it?
Yeah, how could you do it? I feel like there's something stronger there, right?
Okay. How could you do it?
Great.
So again, the actor is not allowed to understand why the character would do it like that.
Can you say this like there's a question mark after every sentence? Like, I want to get some lunch, but I don't have any money?
I want to get some lunch, but I don't have any money.
There you go.
Can you feel how you can't both have an inner process and act an external result? The only thing actors can do is turn off the inner process. Then you'll get the thing you asked for, but you'll kill everything else at the same time. A variation is giving a demo of how it should be acted.
So as you're walking through here, what's your line? So while I was here at home folding your socks, cleaning up after you, you were just out with that girl wherever she is. Then you end up here and just stare at him. Like
this?
Yeah.
Do you feel how you'd have to set aside everything you know how to do in order to do that single thing? This is a way too specific idea that denies the flexibility and spontaneity and autonomy that you need in order to act. Because acting is like going into a fight. You need to be able to think on your feet. If you're the coach, you can come up with a strategy, but you have to leave the play-by-play stuff to the fighter. The worst thing for her is a list of what she has to do when and how she has to do it. If you were going to act, imagine how much space you would need.
Okay, so in this part you're feeling really awkward with him, right? But you're also really attracted to him. And then underlying all that is the whole excitement of the situation. So just really hold on to that excited shyness.
You kind of wish for that guy to go away. Because this isn't helping, it's inhibiting your ability to think.